I'm going to walk you through how to use the motion camera asset that I've built in Cinema4D. It'll be available on my Gumroad, and it will also be free for my patrons once I get a Patreon started, which hopefully will be soon, so look out for an announcement for that. Everything to operate the camera asset will be under this motion camera null. All the controls are built with Espresso, so you'll find them all right here under this null. So I'm going to walk you through the different ways you can operate this camera, and we'll do a short little example. So our target position and focus are nulls set to where the camera should target and where the camera should focus. So they're set to the origin point. Initially, you can move them wherever you want or animate their motion as you need. But initially, that's where they will be fixed. So if we jump into the primary camera, you'll see that's where the camera is looking. And if we move them, you'll see the camera will follow that movement. We can change the target visibility on and off, the size of the display, and so on. But we'll set it back to the origin. The camera track is the circle spline that the camera will follow, and the radius is being controlled in the motion camera controls as well. So let's set up a short little animation just to see how some of the controls work. We'll turn off our camera visibility so our other camera is not coming into the viewport, and I'll show you the other camera in a second. So yeah, let's set some keyframes. Okay. So you can see how easy it is to quickly get more complicated camera movements and angles than you would typically be able to set up. And I mean, you can set all this up with the tools in Cinema4D. It'll just take longer, and it won't be probably as intuitive. It's just moving, keyframing and moving these parameters around right here. I'm not gonna turn on the rendering, so you won't be able to see the depth of field controls, but they're all built in to this as well, and you can adjust them, along with the focus object as you see fit. So you can animate your depth of field and everything by animating that, and it's all updated for the most recent Redshift camera settings and everything, and then we can adjust, we can add camera shake. I added a camera shake option as well. You can play with the amount. It'll just work on the rotation. So let's add an amount into that field, and we'll put it pretty high just so we can see the effect. So you can see, okay, just right there, easy to add some basic camera shake motion to your footage as well. And then so I'll show you the follow camera now. So this is a secondary camera that is constrained to the primary camera, and it will follow along using a spring constraint. So the motion will be a little bit smoothed out and delayed, and you can adjust those settings here. These are the defaults. So I'll show you what that looks like. You'll see the project is set to start at -60 frames because this is because if you use the follow cam, it needs a decent amount of frames to reset its position to where the primary camera starts, so that it can then follow. So I'll show you what I mean. So we will, let's jump out and show the cameras again. So you'll see we have a floating camera that's kind of separate from our primary cam. So you'll see it kind of drifts back into place and then follows smoothly behind. And then if we go back, it needs time to reset its position. So you can see kind of how that works. And then if we jump in to it. We'll play, it'll reset its position, and then follow the position of the primary camera. All the same controls will affect this too. So it's focal length, tilt, and the depth of field settings will all affect the follow camera as well, and it will inherit the motion of the primary camera and the shake and all of that. So we can let's turn off the shake, and then we'll go back to our primary camera, go back to the beginning. So that's our primary camera, and then let's compare that quickly to our follow camera. So it gets back into position, then follows. So that's an easy way to set up an initial camera movement with your primary camera, and then switch over to the follow cam if you want a little bit more of a smoothed out, and sometimes it looks, I guess, a little bit more cinematic almost than the primary camera, you know, I guess can sometimes look a little bit more, you know, CG, because everything is so smooth, and all the motion is so smoothed out. So those are most of the controls that you'll need to worry about. So you'll just be animating camera movements here, animating the target position and focus. So you'll just go in, you know, and animate those parameters in the transform matrix. And if you want, then using the follow cam as well, switching to that after you've made your animation in the primary cam. And then, yeah, you can add shake or, you know, add it in depth of field again if you want to do that for your shot. But yeah, those are most of the controls. It should be pretty straightforward to use. If there is something you think that is missing that you want me to add, just let me know and I'll add it. It's pretty straightforward for me to do. And if you're familiar with Espresso too, you know, you can quickly do that kind of stuff through by managing the user data or jumping into the Espresso tag itself, which contains all of the controls. So yeah, I hope that this is useful. It's a really useful asset to me. This is like the default camera that I have in all of my scenes, you know, especially to do any kind of motion work, because it is so easy to get set up using just creating interesting camera moves and angles and things like that. This camera asset is based on the work of a camera asset I saw Woo-Sung Kang using, and also the follow cam is from a Daniel Danielson tutorial that I saw a long time ago, and so I kind of took some of the ideas that they came up with and put them together into an asset that I've been using for a while and now want to share that with you all. So yeah, I hope this is helpful for you, and let me know, yeah, if there's anything that you have questions about or that you think I should add. All right, thanks for tuning in.